Game will be saved automatically at certain points. However, we recommend you put aside an hour and a half and complete home in a single sitting. Okay. Okay. Alright. All I remember at that point was finding myself alone. What's shaking, Bacon? I don't know. Hi, Noland. Welcome to the stream. Just starting a new game. I'm kind of bored with all the rest of them, and I want to play a horror story. Oh, my head. Where was I? It was so dark. There was something by my feet. A flashlight. Oh, lordy. Oh my god, I hate it. That house. Where was I? There was a body lying on the floor. Who was it? Jesus Christ. Scared the fuck out of me. Oh my god. The desk had a computer and some papers on it, in a single drawer. I didn't want to snoop, but the seats, pens, and a blurry photo looked like a store of some kind. Why did this look so familiar? Built a new workout flat bench low because I was about to pay $60 for a new one. Oh. Well, at least you were able to fix it, right? Blood on the wall. It smelled fresh and sickening. I realized there was blood on my shoes and pants. Oh man, I had to get out of there. I noticed that I limped as I moved down the stairs. How did I hurt my leg, I wondered. All I could really recall was coming home, seeing Rachel. I was upset. She looked afraid. I shook my head and tried to clear it. I knew I should head downstairs, try to find a way out. The shelf was full of books on local history and hunting. Seemed like the owner of the house really knew the area. Yeah, it did. Oh, nice. Save money, man. Ew. What was that? An old dining table covered in dirty dishes for two people. There were dozens of beer cans and other liquor bottles among the dishes. The smell was turning my stomach. The black and white photo looked like the man upstairs and his wife. I guess there was no reason for me to keep this. Did I take it? Yes. I slipped the photo into my pocket. Maybe this would help me find some answers. Lordy. A thin gray mouse was stuck in a trap. It looked frantic but exhausted. Did I free it? Yes. I collection of rusty tools. These looked like they'd seen a lot of use and were caked in damp, smelling dirt. Why weren't they in a shed? Photo similar to the old one I picked up. It had been moved a lot. There seemed to be a switch behind it. Did I push the switch? Yes. To press smoothly into the wall, I heard a faraway click somewhere. It looked like hell. My clothes were dirty and torn, and there was some mud caked all over my shoes. The front door was blocked by a pile of furniture. I knew I had to find another way out. Fucking hell. The door was taped up and seemed to be stuck. By the smell, I guessed it led to the kitchen. The switch in the wall appeared to have unlocked the door. The box looked heavy, but there were marks on the floor. It had obviously been moved before. Maybe I had found a way out. I must have moved it, right? I heaved the box forward and it finally gave. There was a ladder going underground where the box was. A dank smell rose up from the passage. Did I climb down the ladder? No, I wasn't quite ready to leave yet. Yeah, no. Dude. Sheets of paper all over the kitchen table. It looked like a series of names were written down, but they were too smudged to read. I could only make out a few of the notes. Keycard, locker last one, I promise. It didn't make much sense at the time. The bathroom was spotless. Everything had been wiped to a sheen. I wonder if it was the man's wife who did the cleaning or him. There was a photo development tray lying on the floor. Some leftover negatives were sticking out, but they were pretty blurry. I thought I saw what looked like treetops. Looked again at the photo found in the house. The couple looked distant, like they didn't want to be in the same picture. I wonder where the wife was. My leg was in terrible shape, but I had to get out. Footprints in the dirt looked like more than one kind, and a lot of traffic. Places all over were marked on the old map of town. The industrial area near the river, various houses, and even the water tower near the old train station. Newspaper clippings from the local paper. They're all about murders in town all over the last few years. Wait, there are photos of our house. What the hell was that about? Maybe I should have looked around more, try to find some kind of information. Work table covered in papers, dirt, and a handgun. I hated guns. I didn't take it, did I? Yes. I took the small handgun into my pocket. Its weight was somehow reassuring. It was so dark down there, and the air smelled stale and putrid. I couldn't believe what I saw. What was this place? Some kind of homemade rack slung together and poorly cut wooden rope. It was caked with old blood. Somebody didn't actually use that, did they? Poorly made shelves. They looked like they were holding cans of some kind of corrosive. The labels were worn and slick, but I could still see the warnings. Blech. The desk looked old and was caked with grime. On it was a stack of old, faded paper covered with what looked like names. They were scratched out, and illegible notes were written down beside them in faded blue ink. I could only make out a few letters. Heat, I have a help, Oof. None of it made any sense to me. Looked like a cage. It was small, but there was something coating in the bottom, something wet. Ew. Some kind of old boxes. They looked like they were years old. Wait a minute, those boxes had old clothes in them. Clothes I remembered throwing out after Rachel and I moved to town. What the hell were they doing here? There wasn't anyone there. Was I hearing things? Oh shit. Oh fuck. Oh, bats. I remember noticing the broken ladder. I had to be careful. There was a rope hanging there. I wasn't sure how sturdy it was. Did I take it? Yes. Maybe the rope would make that broken ladder easier to descend. Oh shit. The rope now, there must have been a use for it around someone. That's fucking creepy as shit. Hope I found would have let me climb down the broken ladder safely. Did I climb down? Yes. I hear a faint hum, and the smell from before started to get worse. A bunch of old newspapers, we pasted together. A message had been hastily smeared out. Keep out. Danger due to cave-in. Could still feel a faint impression of the rope I had slid down as I pressed against the heavy metal door. It was probably for the best that I had jumped. The ache in my leg was bad enough as it was. If I could have, though, I would have run straight out of those awful tunnels. Who would keep such a place? At least I thought I had found that old handgun. It seemed to work. From the smell of it, it had been used already. I kept the gun in my pocket. It seemed a familiar weight there. There was dirt on the ground. It looked wet, and there was grass smeared within it. I could hear a faint trickling sound like water. What was that? Kitchen knife covered in drying blood. Thinking about it made me sick. I didn't even want to touch it. Did I take the knife? Yes. I slipped the knife into my boot since I had the gun in my pocket. Did I really need all this? Yes, you did. Yes, you did. What the fuck was that? Wasn't sure what this valve was for. Did I turn it anyways? Yes. I wasn't sure, but I thought it was some kind of regulator. I had no idea how it worked. There was a rusty ladder sunk into the water, which smelled disgusting. I knew I couldn't climb down that. Maybe I could find a way to drain the putrid water. I think it had something to do with the valves. See what it did. There's a similar dirt on my insurance. Ew. Ew. Did not want to go back into those tunnels. It seemed better to press on. Looked like I turned off the water flow in this valve. Okay. I think I'm missing something. 'Cause I already did these. Hi Pix, how you doing? I thought I could turn this water valve to shut it off. Did I turn it? Yes. Thought I could turn this off. I keep shutting them. I keep turning them and they're just not. Why? I just got back from taking my dog out. That's great. I'm trying to figure out what the hell I'm doing here. Is it a sequence? I think it might be a sequence. Probably it. 2 keeps doing that. 4 is stuck. Maybe... Why? Maybe. I think that's still on. That's up again. Because 1 and 4 are staying down. See? But now it's back up again. What the fuck? Ugh, that's annoying. I don't know what to do. Oh, disgusting. There was a mass of filthy garbage bags. There were rips and tears in most of the bags. It looked like an old videotape was sticking out. Did I take the tape? Yes. I'm sure that what I hoped to discover with the tape, but I took it anyways. Okay. Wait a minute. Wait. I don't remember this vent being off of it, but okay. Spooky shit. Am I missing something? Well, time to find a VHS player in a sewer. Exactly. I have no idea how I'm gonna do this. Yeah, I turned it off. Now stay. Okay. Maybe I just turn off 1. Can I get in here? you mean? What am I doing? One moment. Loady. So anything new going on with you, Pix? It's your boy, Tea Drinker. Hi, Corvus. How you doing? I know it's a puzzle. I just don't know what to do. Right. Still active. Did it oh, yeah. Oh, oh. So, okay. Last wall. Other than the last wall of the shed not being, not much has happened. Oh, okay. Well, I think I figured this out. Yep. Looked like the water drained out of that grate in the wall. There's a small metal key left floating in the shallow pool of the rancid water. Did I take it? Yes. Pocketed the small key, but it was so odd shaped. No idea what it might open. Might open that room. Okay, never mind. I was wrong. Ooh, safety poster had definitely seen better days. How old was that facility? The door was locked. I could see a faint light within. What is that? Is that a camera? Found another dead body, a sewer worker. By the wounds all over his face and body, I figured he'd been stabbed repeatedly. There was a key ring sticking out of the man's pocket. Did I take it? Yes. Thought about the knife that I found with some disgust as I carefully picked the keys from his pocket. I was almost worried he was going to grab me. You don't have the motivation to acquire tea, then I can't call you a tea drinker then, Corvus. I'm a coffee I'm a coffee person myself. There was a hint of fresh air. I must have been near an exit. But I wondered, what did that key I found on the sewer worker do? And what's on the videotape I found? Well, maybe... Use the key ring to unlock the door. There we go. The shelf was full of security tapes was strictly organized, though covered in dust. Looked like the tape I found was the one that was missing from the shelf. I like coffee and tea. I'll have you know that about 12 fucking cups today, and my god, am I gonna regret it tomorrow. Those dusty VCR on the security desk. I wondered what was on that VHS tape I found. Did I play the tape? Yes. Another Damn, sounds rough, teaching. I know, right, Corvus? The climb was slow, thanks to my sore leg, the extra weight I was carrying. Would I really need that gun or that knife on my journey back? Or had I taken them for some other purpose? The thought of the videotape still gave me the chills. Who was it that didn't want to be seen? And what was in that locked room? I shook my head as I reached the top of the ladder and heaved at the latch above me. Suddenly, the awful smell of that super gave way to the dank scent of pine trees. Relieved to be above ground again, I figured I should keep moving. Damn. I just hope there are no monsters. I can't hear you without my glasses. I love Courage the Cowardly Dog. Tried the little key I had fished out of my murky puddle in the sewers. It fit, and I heaved open the rusty door. The wind was picking up a bit. The night air had become strangely chilly. This must have been the entrance to the forest that was mentioned on that map I had seen. Whoever was poking around in those tunnels underneath that man's house had scribbled notes on this place, but I couldn't make them out. Here the sign pointed out various campsites and walking paths within the woods. It mentioned a river and maybe a washroom, but the rest was too faded to see clearly. Dry old picnic table sat lonely in amongst the trees, the carvings and marks from years of previous campers. As I tried to read some of the names on the marks, I idly thumbed the knife I found. If I wanted to, I could have carved something on the table, did I? Yes. With a few crude strokes, I etched a simple design into the wood, R plus H. I felt like a teenager defacing the table. Can't get a boner without my eyes. Actually, that partially makes sense. God. Path ended in a cold-looking river. I wasn't sure if it was safe to cross. Did I cross it? No. In the darkness, it didn't seem wise to try. Maybe there was another option. Through the fence, I could see a dilapidated outbuilding. I wondered if I could find my way around. Oh, yes, it's already happened. Quick. Lee Corvus, think of boobies. Oh my god. There's a fire pit there. It was still a bit warm, and a few embers still burned at the bottom. I don't know. Two folding camps on the ground. When it was knocked over, there was a couple of cans of beer spilled on the ground. The cheap dome tent slept 2 people. I shone my flashlight inside. I could see some bedrolls, 2 backpacks, and a cooler. This is a bad idea. Grimy sink had a small patch in it and looked almost clean. There's a damp-smelling plank leaning against the stall door. I might have been able to cross the river with it. Take it? Yes. Managed to carry the plank under my arm so it didn't get in the way. Okay. Cute. Sign was the same as the first one I had seen. This must have been the exit to the other side of the woods. I had finally found the exit. Once I left, I knew I never wanted to return. Wait! I don't find what's on the river. River. There was some personal effects shoved back into the rock. Wait, there was a notebook there too. Did I read it? Inside this cheap dollar store notebook was pages after page after one page of names and lists. None of it made sense. Blah, blah, blah. The news page contained several names: Heather, Olivia, Ashley, Cheryl, Iris, Daphne, Holly, Rose, Rachel. Rachel, her name was the last on the list. They marked beside it in blue ink. The names Daphne and Olivia had been crossed out in the same blue ink. Cheryl, Heather, and Rose had also been crossed out, but their marks looked older and more faded. Well, we got a killer. We got a killer, guys. I don't know where I'm going, guys. I think this is the first time. I almost wished I had paid more attention to those crazy scribblings. Maybe I would be less nervous about entering that dark forest. Here we go. The plank I found was long enough to form a crude bridge, but I wasn't sure if it would hold. Did I use it? Yeah, why not? Did I cross back over to the other shore? No. I wasn't ready to head back yet. No. Two bodies, two young women, were half dug into a hasty, shallow grave between the trees. The younger-looking one was still facing up, her dead eyes gleaming against my flashlight. She deserved better than that. Did I clean up the gravesite? Yes. I tried to cover them up a bit, and I closed the younger woman's eyes. I fashioned a crude marker. I wasn't sure why, but I felt I had to do something. Well. Well. I'm about to flee for my life, guys. I'm actually spooked. Oh. No, wait a minute. Damn it. Okay. I do go this way. Came out this way. There's one there. One here. Yeah, here we go. The forest started to thin out a bit, and through the trees I could make out parts of the town beyond, and the first hints of light. The mysteries of that forest were behind me, but I could still feel them on my neck like a warm breath. Those girls I had found, someone had taken them from their campsite and had murdered them. Was it the same person who had left that odd notebook? I was even more eager to get somewhere safe and find a way to reach Rachel. As I stepped through the gate, I suddenly recognized the auto parts factory where I worked as a machinist for all those years. The plant had closed almost 3 years ago. Times were better then. I thought I could hear a faint rustling behind me. Maybe it was just the wind. Nope. 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 Get away. Oh shit. Not another victim. I took it from his uniform that he was a security guard here, there, just doing his job. His head had been severely beaten. His face was covered in blood. Dug into the ground was a cracked old watch. It was mine. I bought it on the trip out west with Rachel. I barely went a day without wearing it. It didn't look like it worked anymore, and it was heavy. Did I take back my watch? Even though it no longer ran, I clasped the watch around my wrist. I don't like it. I'll fucking kill a bitch. Dude. One of the lockers hung open. Its contents were tossed around, like someone had been looking for something. There's a large power box with 5 lights on it. Cables burst out of the box, snaking off to other parts of the factory. The metal was starting to wear, and cobwebs had collected on the corners. The box wasn't receiving power. It was locked tight. It seemed to be connected to the power box beside it. The door was locked shut. There's an electronic box under the handle. A sign was pasted to the door that said, "Danger, closed for repairs." Every part of this plant smelled old and rotted. I noticed the old bulletin board on the wall. The board contained yellowed clippings of newspaper, cartoons, and notices. There were notes to and from the guys that worked here. One of them was to Norman, who's one of the older guys out in the line. Our old break table. The layer of dust and grime only made seeing this sting more. Power panel. Looked like it was shut off. Did I push the switch? Yes. The open locker was stuffed with dirty work clothes and old boots. There was a photo of a woman taped to the side, but it was scratched out, and the face was unrecognizable. A power panel. Looked like it was shut off. Did I push the switch? Yes. Shut tight. There was a rusty-looking card slot in the side. Okay. Large power box of fireplace. Okay. No! How do I skip it? I can't skip it. Okay, so we've got one of the lights on. Door had been hastily boarded up. I think she just straight up turned off Discord on her phone. Who, me? What happened? What did y'all do? What are y'all doing? Yeah. Oh, okay. I'm sorry, guys. This was Norman's locker. The door was dented, like someone had punched it. I don't remember him doing that when we worked there. Another panel that I hoped could help me get the power back on. Did I push the switch? Yes. Okay. It might just be the storm is still kind of here, but it's still going away. Utility shelf crammed with mismatched tools and items. There was a claw hammer on the shelf. Did I take the hammer? Yes. As I took the hammer, I noticed it wasn't dusty as the rest of the tools on the shelf. Yikes. Love it when things fix itself so much less effort. The locker was a complete mess. Hidden at the bottom, though, was a magnetic card. Did I take the card? Yes. Another panel that I hoped could help me get the power back on. Did I push the switch? Yes. Power panel still wasn't working. Did I try it again? Yes. Power panel still wasn't working. Did I try it again? Yes. Another panel that I hoped could get me. Okay, yeah. Yes. I think the whole building is on now. I wish my life would do that. That's funny. No, I should have read that out loud. Whoops. This was my locker. There was in the factory. Stank of booze. There was a picture of Rachel on the inside. It looked like it had been torn up. I thought I had taken that picture home when the factory was closed. There was a mess of empty booze bottles. I wondered if that man in the house had something to do with this. He sure had a lot of alcohol at his place. Turned a building on? I'm impressed. Do me next. You have a girlfriend? I think it's in here, right? I don't remember. Key card I found seemed like it would pass through this reader. Did I use the key card? Yes. Slid the key card through the... Oh, I don't like it. There was some kind of ventilation hatch there. It looked like I could jump in the room below. My leg hurt enough as it was, but I couldn't see another option. Did I jump? No. If I was too chicken to jump down that broken ladder before, why do it now? There had to be another way. Yeah. The door had somehow locked itself again. There's no keycard slot in the side. Fuck! Okay, fine. Fine. Guess I'm jumping. Oh man, my head hurt like hell, yeah. There was a crumpled up letter on the floor. It had been scratched out heavily and it was hard to make out. Did I try to read the letter? Yes. Most of the letter was violently scratched out, with what looked like to be a ballpoint pen. All I could make out was need to. Just don't. Drinking need. Norman. Who was Norman writing to? Oh my god. This is what happens when I don't explore everything. Stepped out of the factory, glad to be rid of its smell and its memories. I couldn't stop thinking about that room with the bottles in it. Was that guard I found outside really drinking up there? What about Norman? And who had rooted through all those lockers? I couldn't tell where I was as I looked around, but I figured I needed to get to the road to get my bearings. Maybe Norman could help. His store wasn't that far from the turn off to the factory, if I remembered correctly. You heard that right. That wasn't just me. Sounded like it was going to start raining again. Oh shit. I entered Norman's place. This was the back of the store that he ran. It was oddly quiet except for a faint sound of the television. Entrance to the front of the store was locked from the inside. Looked like I couldn't just pop it open. I needed a key. There's a bit of blood on the keyhole. Wrong kind of glory hole, guys. What the hell? One of Rachel's old autumn coats hung on the rack. That was Norman's bedroom, wasn't it? What was this doing here? Oh, no. Ruh-roh, she a hoe. Okay. Inside the cabinet was a small but impressive collection of hunting rifles, shotguns, and even a few items I didn't think were legal here. One of the slots on the rack was empty. The gun I had found seemed to match the others there. If the handgun was Norman's, what the hell was he doing with it? The gun would fit there. Did I place it back in the cabinet? No. Though it weighed on me, it was a hard time parting with the weapon just then. I don't want to put it back. I need my safety. TV still flickered, had some indecipherable channel. Oh shit, oh no. I couldn't believe it was what I was seeing. Norman, my coworker and one of the few friends I'd seen in this town, lay dead beside his armchair. His face and shirt were covered in blood. It looked like he had been shot trying to get up. His eyes were wide with shock, though they were already drying. Norman, what was Rachel doing here? Why did you have her coat? Norman, maybe you deserved better. You probably did. Did I close his eyes? Yes. I closed his eyelids down, shuddering as I did so. I wasn't sure if I wanted to give him peace, or if I just couldn't stand to think anymore about what was going on. Get tea, acquire tea. I guess this was Norman's kitchen table. He kept it clean enough, but there was water rings from 2 cups still there in the wood. The kitchen trash bin smelled fresh. I didn't dig through that mess, did I? Yes, he did. I found a hairpin amongst the rotting food and trash and pocketed it. I used the hairpin to pick the lock. The hairpin snapped in half, so I threw it away. The general store was small, but it was clean. Had the usual things: postcards, snacks, magazines, and canned goods. I never went there much. Rachel usually stopped by after work if we needed anything. The register was mostly empty. A fat stack of travel magazines sat beside it. The icebox seemed to be unplugged. It must have been off for a while. Most of its contents were half melted. There were various postcards from the area, especially from the tourist traps. One of the postcards showed an old black and white photo of the water tower. It looked like to be in much better shape then. What had I seen? Norman was dead, but I had no idea why. I didn't know he could be involved in all of this, but the thought of him lying on the floor up there was sickening. The only comfort I had was the gun I still carried, but was it really a comfort or a curse? Rain was coming down hard, but at least I was close to home. Wouldn't be long before I got my answers. I mean, I wouldn't be able to deal with seeing Norman again. So close to home. It was time to move on. No! No! The wrong gate. This one was locked. This gate was locked tight. This wasn't my house. The neighbor's local post box. A letter was sticking out, as if someone hadn't pushed it all the way in. I knew it wasn't right, but did I look at the letter? Yes. It's no return address, but the envelope was addressed to Norman. Carefully, I tore it open and looked at the inside of the letter. It read, "Stay away, she's mine." That was it. No signature, no other information. Ooh. Wrong gate. This one was locked. I'd entered our backyard. The rain gave me a terrible sense of foreboding, and it chilled me through my clothes. I was expectant, but also afraid. I held my breath as I approached our back door. I was terrified to step inside. The house was painfully quiet. The only sound was my own breathing, ragged and strained. I flicked the light switch by the door. The power was off. I remember having breakfast here on this very table. Was that yesterday or sometime before? The front door was locked from inside. I couldn't go out, though. I needed to see if Rachel was here. The door to the basement. It was locked. Where had I put the damned keys? The door was stuck shut. There was an old-fashioned keyhole underneath the handle. Okay. Why do I have so many doors in my own house that I can't get into right now? This is kind of ridiculous. Our television. I had purchased it before I knew I was going to lose my job. Felt pretty guilty about it afterward, but by then it was too late. And what's up with these 3-story houses? Is this like a weird townhouse? Okay. Maybe. Our hallway mirror had been smashed, its pieces scattered around the floor. I'm pretty sure we have a mansion, actually, or a mini mansion. My laptop had been left on, and only had a tiny bit of power left. On the screen was an old website about the old water tower. There was a key in the top of the drawer of my desk. Did I take it? Yes, I did. Our sink, which needed to be replaced. One of the taps always stuck, but I hadn't got around to fixing it yet. We were lucky enough to get a house with one of those wonderful old claw-footed bathtubs. So this is kind of like a mansion house. The books there were half mine, half Rachel's. Hey, now that I looked more closely, it looked like the man in that house had some of the same books as I did. There was a suitcase on the bed. It was Rachel's. I remember it from the trip we took out west. Did I open the suitcase? Yes. I wasn't sure what to make of the suitcase's contents. Inside were a few days' worth of clothes, some toiletries, and a train ticket. Where was she planning to go? This bitch ain't loyal. I unlocked the basement door. There's old Christmas decorations in the box. Garbage bags were stuffed with old paint cans and supplies. There's a dirty old key there. Did I take the key? Yes. I took the small key and tried to remember what it unlocked. Hi. What? No, I'm playing a game. Hi. I know. I'm playing Mom. God. Say hi, Mom. She says hello. There are old clothes, tools, and other things that we obviously hadn't thrown out yet. I'd put this divider wall last summer so we could create a separate room in the basement. I hadn't finished it yet, so the door was still stuck, but then the drywall was poorly installed. Might have been able to break through if I found something heavy enough. Wait, did I hear a door open as I... Oh, yeah, no, of course, never mind. Wait. Going the wrong way. Grimy key I'd found in the basement unlocked the door. Looked like the room had been tossed around. The furniture was a mess. Did somebody break in here? There's an old crowbar on the floor. Did I need to take the crowbar? Yes. I lifted the heavy crowbar. I appreciated its weight. What is wrong with you guys? Y'all. Oh, is the chat still being weird? Did I break through the wall with the crowbar? Yeah. With a heave, I swung the crowbar at the wall. I smashed a hole large enough to step through. As I stepped through the broken wall, my breath caught in my throat. There it was. Was Rachel down there? Was she okay? Filthy-looking pile of rags had been dumped in the corner. The stench of them was awful and it made my eyes water. I was terrified to even touch the pile to see what lay within, but I knew I had to. I had come this far. After all this searching, after all I had seen, when I looked within the rags, did I finally find my Rachel? Wrapped within the filthy rags, pale and still, was Rachel. She was still covered in fading bruises and what looked like cuts. Her chest was a horrible mess of blood and dirt. I couldn't bear to look at it. The knife in my boot, the gun in my pocket, were they the tools of her murder? I thought about all I had seen and wondered if any of it could help me figure out who had done this. I have a feeling it was me. When I couldn't stay there any longer, I stepped away on shaky legs and made my way back upstairs. Reluctantly, exhausted from my journey, I could no longer resist the urge to close my eyes. Maybe I would use some of Rachel's travels books and find some place to go. What am I doing? This was the old photo of that other man and his wife, I assumed. I found it in that house. There were a lot of disturbing things in those tunnels underneath that house. Maybe that man wasn't quite what he seemed. Well, what did I think? Was that man involved in this whole mess somehow? Yes, definitely. Those tunnels, the odd tools in his house. He wasn't innocent, that's for sure. It was a key card I found in the factory, the one that allowed me to slip through that door. It seemed to me that it was probably Norman's, but if that was true, what was he doing back at the plant? Did I think Norman was going back to the factory? Maybe. It must have been him. He must have been using the old locker room. The reflection in that grimy glass was only a shadow, a whisper. Still love that old-time charm with the claw-footed bathtub, though it seemed like a cold comfort then. This letter I had taken from the post box. Who had it out for Norman? Who sent him that letter? It must have been someone from the neighborhood, or at least somebody wanted to look it that way. I wasn't sure what to think. Didn't he murder Rachel? I don't think Norman murdered Rachel, no way. Norman had ended up dead himself. Whoever sent that threatening letter must have got to him. Who the hell was that? Now on, I'd have no one to get angry with me for stupid things like buying this TV. Oh my god. This is depressing. My old office safe sat on the floor. I used to keep tax records and other important documents in it. I used a digital passcode lock, but I didn't have a passcode. Maybe I had left it somewhere. Leafed through the notebook I had taken from the forest. It had the names that had been written down: Heather, Olivia, Ashley, Cheryl, Iris, Stephanie, Holly, Rose, Rachel. These poor girls. Were they the victims of the same person who had killed Rachel? I don't know why it keeps freezing. I'm sorry, guys. I wondered what happened to the other names on that list, or the ones scratched out on that desk in those wet tunnels. Seemed like I had seen all there was. Maybe I thought I was ready to go back into the basement. guilty, I could take this to a warm, safe place and do something about it. Did I pick up the knife? Yes. I took the knife and kept it firmly in my hand. If I wanted to end it, I could do it. I could try. Wanted to end it, I could do it. I could do it with that gun. Did I pick it up again? Dude, what the hell? I'll pick it up, but it was like carrying an anvil, but I wouldn't let it go. Not again. I needed to put an end to the situation one way or another. Let me go in. Was it? With Rachel gone, I couldn't stand to be in that house a moment longer, but I had the gun again and that knife. This wasn't the only way to end this, I knew. But did I leave and say goodbye to that nightmare forever? Yes. Sweet Lord. I know, right, Pix? Living in this town hadn't been easy. The plant had helped me in some way to stay grounded. It kept me in line, gave me something to do, and helped me get away from my past. When the factory closed, everything changed. Guess that was when I had started sleepwalking, disappearing for hours at a time. Dude, what the fuck? I had MRIs and piles of doctor's reports, but nothing seemed to help, not even drinking. But I swear I had tried to give it up. I know it. The sleepwalking never went away, though. I know Rachel had tried. I know she had tried to be there for me, even when everything was falling apart. This night had unearthed some terrible truths, but I knew it was a long final act of a long-standing horror I'd been living. Waking up in that house tonight was the final cruelty. I wish I'd remained unconscious in that room forever. It was obvious to me that the man I had found in that house had something to do with all this. Could he have killed Rachel? It started to see that there were too many things I had seen to think otherwise. After making it out of those tunnels, I thought the sewers might feel safer. I was wrong. The security tape I had watched showed someone being attacked by what looked like two people. But who was it that was attacked? Even more troubling were those poor girls I had found in those terrible woods. Half hidden in the shallow grave, their secret deaths seemed like the ultimate defiling. If I hadn't found them, would anyone have done so? Would they have ever even been missed? I vaguely recalled the desk I had seen in those tunnels, the names etched there. Someone had killed those girls. Was it that man? It was clear, at least, that Norman had been going back to the old plant. Maybe he was the one who had boarded up the locker room, who had been drinking up there in that secret hiding place. So he had killed that guard then? He must have. Maybe he was found out. Or the guard had caught him on patrol. Damn it, Norman, why? After the factory, I thought I might find some solace if I could just get to Norman's store. All I had found were more horrors and more questions. By the way, if you could maybe turn the... yeah, absolutely. I don't know how to do that. I honest to God have no idea how to do it. Okay, hold on. Maybe I have to get out of this first. Now that I really consider it, that's when I have shitted seen it coming. Damn, Norman, how did you get mixed up in all this? I know you weren't a perfect man. None of us are, but you didn't deserve this. Maybe whoever had done this to you was responsible for the other murders that happened in that town. At the very least, I was convinced you and Rachel were killed by the same person. I sincerely hoped you would find some peace, my friend. I would never know. When I had... Damn, this is a fucking lot of dialogue. When I had marched up... Or monologue. When I marched through the rain towards home, I desperately clung to the end, hope that this would end, and I guess in a way it did, but how could I have known how hopeless it all was? I had started to feel disoriented when I sleepwalked. Think of it now. I guess I should have known from the terrible silence that greeted me when I first stepped into our house and stood there in the kitchen. There was no sound of the television, radio, even the air was still. But seeing Rachel there, lying ruined and discarded in the basement, that was a horror I could never imagine. Jesus. This dude goes on and on. Oh my goodness. I didn't know if I'd ever find the answer I craved, but I knew that somehow that other man I had found was responsible for this. Jesus Christ. If not directly, he must have had a hand in Rachel's death. So what was I doing in this damned house of his? had I found out. Had I killed him, my damn condition made it difficult to know. Memories and time frames were always a mess, and I could never be sure. Knowing that man, oh my god, knowing that man was dead, though, was cold comfort. My wife was gone, and no matter what happened to me now, I was lost forever. Swung the door open and stepped out into the air. I caught a scent of the wet grass and fog. Rachel, my beautiful wife. Just the thought of her again, cold and inert, shook me from head to toe. What would I do now? Who would I could have... It would be only a matter of time before the police got involved, before the neighbors knew. The front lawn was soft and giving beneath my feet, and I couldn't shake the urge that I shouldn't stand there, rather that I should run. Okay. Oh. Okay. Oh. Well. I guess it's kind of one of those games where you have to find every single little detail before you can really get to the end of it, but I have a feeling that he was the murderer. So I might stream something again a little later. I'll find another game that isn't this short. It was a good game though. It really fucks with your head. Jesus. Yeah. It just restarts. Alright, I'll see you guys in a little bit. I'm sorry, Pix, I couldn't turn down the volume. I don't know how to with this game. It's weird. Like, I'm pressing all of the buttons and I can't get there. So, I will see you guys later.